Welcome to my channel, where there are interesting and equally sensational stories. Listen to today's story. Even if your heart tries to pull its broken self together to tell you it's for the best, in your head, foggy and sad, tells you the pain will pass. The agony of a breakup can be relentless. When you're recovering from a breakup, it's important not to hurry things along. It's your time to reset, recharge, and draw wisdom from the experience. Today on our space, we see that part of healing is re-establishing who you are. Anything that can repair and re-strengthen the self-concept will accelerate healing. Above all else, we are to remember that there are things about ourselves that were beautiful, strong, vibrant, and extraordinary before the relationship. Nothing has changed. Up first, a part of the healing process means facing the facts. She doesn't know that I know. I, 32 male, found out that my girlfriend of 7 years, 33 female, secretly went to Germany last year for 1 week to meet with a guy. From her SMS archives, I found they've been sexting for already more than a year, and then they met up and did it then. I found out about it 5 months after the fact. On a glimpse at her passport while cleaning. She went home to her folks last year during the pandemic, and it remained in the city because of work. That was when she went abroad for 1 week while telling me in messages that she was always just at home with her parents. I went over her messages and found their sex. How she said she's been dreaming of seeing him for months and also saw which of our mutual friends she asked for help with making the trip possible. She doesn't know that I know it all. That I saw the messages, the pictures, the videos. As of this writing, she's back in the city living with me in my house. Back when I had no idea about it at all, when she came to the city 5 months ago, I was very happy and excited to be with her again, but she was already cold to me. She acted friendly, but becomes defensive when I try to be physical. When we had sex, she looked disgusted and hurt. It felt like she was thinking I was forcing her. I felt sick seeing her face distorted like in anger. It was over quickly. It wasn't fun. We haven't slept together since. I found out a few weeks later. I've been reading on this sub since finding out, looking over similar stories, trying to find ways on how to proceed from here, how to move on, how to forgive, how to cope. Thank everyone here for their insights and stories and with sharing their experience. I'm still at a loss on how to move forward. Right now, I'm still numb and unsure, taking it one day at a time. Thank you again all for being here. This will be a journey and hopefully with something close to a good ending. Our first reaction comes from astronaut Diligent 544. You are not a second choice. Tell her to go back to Germany with her lover and don't let her gaslight you. She is selfish, unfaithful, narcissistic, cold, and a piece of crap. Over a year of sexting followed by sex in layers, no, thank you. Tim Fairweather chimes in. She failed the girlfriend test. Girlfriend relationships are a test to see if that person is worthy of more emotional investment. She is not worthy of such from you. You are better than this. Best of luck with your future endeavors. The cheeky monkey thinks, please don't take this as me being rude. How the hell can you ask for advice on how to forgive, cope, and move on? The relationship is over. She doesn't know you won't have sex with you, and when she did acted like it was disgusting. There can be no moving forward until she knows you know. This must be brought out into the open. She's quite obviously not happy. She should be your ex. Kick her out. P.S. Good luck. I'm sorry it happened to you. Gatorbro says it's pretty clear. If it's your place, ask her to leave. Why do this? Move on and find someone that respects you, as she has none. She probably wanted you to find the information, have some pride. Honestly, taking it day by day is all we can do in moments like this. It's a total shock to the system when you find out that the one you love has been insincere and cheating on you behind your back. You don't have to forgive right away, but you do have to confront the situation. But you're right. It's taking it day by day and processing what's happening. Sorting out your next moves is all you can do. It's important to take your time through this and practice self-care. If you decide to end things, practicing forgiveness is important so that it doesn't weigh so heavy on your hearts. Update. I told her I knew. I sent her the screenshots, changed the locks. I said have someone pick up her things as I don't want to see her. I have half a bottle of gin, half a bottle tequila, and a questionable bottle of absinthe. I'll hold up for a while. Seve 80 per response, don't dive in the bottle. D-Day? Okay. But you are no longer in the discovery phase. I would highly recommend you go to a friend and let them drive you for a bit. Please throw the alcohol and cheap ones, even if I won't judge you for wanting it. Take care of you and focus on the future. Me Pinchers chimes in. Getting a fresh haircut, new clothes, and hitting the gym is better than the bottle. Trust me. Zabrig says this 10,000% don't go to the bottle. No fear no there, adds. You need to ditch the alcohol until you settle down. Is there life insurance that are named? Anyway, check all your bases. No credit cards with their having access. No bank accounts, insurance, utilities. Having the informed family, friends, your boss, anyone who may have need to know in case you do something crazy. Or if your attitude isn't normal. By the way, the greatest form of revenge is letting them see what they lost. A drunken slouch would make them happy and not regret their decision. Good luck. This experience can be so destabilizing that it might distract you from your normal daily routines. Remember to nourish your body with sleep, food, water, hygiene, exercise, any medications you might take on a regular basis. It can be difficult to process these heavy emotions on your own. It's important to let go of your anger in healthy ways so you can avoid making impulsive decisions. Breathe, and move on with your anger so it doesn't lock you up. A reactive decision won't rid these emotions. It often brings on a new set of issues. Take your thoughts seriously, but know that feelings aren't facts. Validate and normalize intrusive thought, but resist the urge to trying to make meaning of their actions. Especially when that meaning makes turns self-deprecating. In other words, if you find yourself thinking your ex cheating on you because you aren't good enough, recognize how you feel, but understand that it is not the truth. You're good enough exactly the way you are. This will help to redirect and reframe thoughts in a healthier way. Let's help out by sharing some of the healthy ways we've gotten over infidelity in the comments below. Meanwhile, our next teaches us that we have to do what's best for us, even though that may mean we have to make one of the hardest decisions in our lives. My ex, 31 male, wants the dog back after cheating on me and getting his boss pregnant. Get ready, grab some popcorn, and get comfortable because I'm getting you details for better understanding. My ex, 30 male, let's call him Kelvin, and I, 24 female, together for a few months already and decided to adopt a beautiful pit bull puppy. I was already living with Kelvin for this and thought it was a great idea since he worked a lot and the puppy would keep me company. Now, this next is some background, but I promise it's relevant to my choice and hopefully, give you a better idea of where I'm coming from. I met Kelvin in my hometown where I used to live with my parents, fell in love with him, and we moved together to the city, Mexico City, where I could keep studying and he could get a better paying job. I didn't know the city or anyone there, so I had nothing else to do but study online since this was during the pandemic. I tried getting a job, but was hard with my schedule. A couple of weeks after we moved, he and I came up with the idea to adopt a puppy to keep me company. We found one on Facebook Marketplace, paid for his vaccinations and fees, and got him home, a small studio apartment. Calvin took the role of provider since I'm still in med school and couldn't work a full-time job without falling behind or leaving the puppy alone for way too much time. We both decided he would take on the responsibility of working and paying bills. I, in return, would take care of the apartment, clean, cook meals, do laundry, take care of the dog, basic household chores. I was also happy with it, so it was a mutual agreement. My parents would periodically send a small amount of money from me since I'm still in school, but were not happy with my decision of moving with this guy. I barely knew, and they never met. I wish I'd listened, but I was too in love and stubborn to see the flaws of my decision. Fast forward months later, things were not so great. We loved each other very much, but were so different. We fought a lot. Kelvin was incredibly jealous and possessive, even though I spent all of my time in the apartment, only went out to do errands, supermarket and dog park. Almost to the point of becoming violent. I couldn't stop regretting my choice of being in a foreign city, all alone, with no one I know near. Didn't want to go back to my parents and listen to them tell me they were right. Fragile ego. I kept through it because I loved him, like really loved him even after all his flaws. Now I know it was barely loved, but that has taken me a lot of work and therapy and medication. A few months later, my school, in my hometown, announces we were going back to normal activities, and I should be there by fall. He's mad we have to go, but agrees to move there just while I finished school, my last semester. We make all the arrangements and even fly the dog, Rocky 6 months old, to my hometown. My parents offer us to stay in a house they own and have for rent in the outskirts of town, a 20–25 minute drive from downtown. Rent-free, they were just happy to have me back in town and see me in a loving relationship. Kelvin wasn't happy at all. Kept complaining about the house. It was indeed a bit old and needed repairs, and how my parents are only just now supporting us since I'm back in their town where they wanted me. I tell him it's a great opportunity since we're only paying for the services like water, gas, and internet, and the money we would otherwise spend on rent could go towards repairs, paint new doors, and knobs renovating, etc. And once I'm done with school, we could rent it and keep the money as extra income. This was with my parents' permission, of course. I even tell him we didn't have to stay there. We could look for something else. He eventually agrees to stay there only while we find something better. I even go and get a job at my old part-time job. I'm friends with the manager, so she was flexible with the hours since I knew I was still in school. Because I wanted to contribute a bit more to our home, still doing laundry, cooking, etc. Not even a month later, I'm sensing something off. He's super irritable, more than usual, and anything and everything would annoy him. I decided to go through his phone while he showered. I know so bad, but something was bugging me. And that was the first and only time I did it, determined to find answers. And I did. The last message was to this person. Let's call her Leah, 34, female. Which I knew only by name since she was his old boss back in Mexico City, and he would occasionally mention her in job-related conversations. She's from another country. Let's say from where Netflix's The Crown takes place, and significantly older than me. She comes from a well-accommodated family and has her own business in her country and also in Mexico City. Leah and Kelvin have been friends for some time, and she offered him a great-paying job in her business. This happened while I was living with Kelvin too, though I never had a second thought about them. I kept scrolling through their conversation, getting curious since they'd call each other bad, which was odd. Then some sexting, songs he sent me as well, texting as he would text me, and then I found out she's pregnant. There are pictures and everything, some explicit ones, some of her and her bump. I'm speechless. I couldn't process what I had just seen. And then it hits me like a 1,000 bricks. I am the side piece, basically. She was already 6 months pregnant. Kelvin and I were together for almost a year. I got cheated on early into our relationship. My world starts to shatter in a million pieces, all our plans, all our love, gone. I'm in tears, dumbfounded, and couldn't believe it. Of course, I confront him. He is ashamed and in tears as well. He starts telling me how he doesn't love her, that she threatened to not let him see the baby if he wasn't with her. In a relationship. That's why he kept messaging her and sexting and basically having another relationship. I could just not find it reason enough not to talk to me the minute he found out. How he could have lied for months, kiss me, and sleep in the same bed as me when he knew something so important, lied to my face, and keep making plans with me as if his life wasn't about to change forever. Apology after apology, I kick him out. I knew he was low on money and struggling, but I didn't care and told him to go back to Mexico City to collect his things and to go be with his child, that he had nothing else to do here. He reluctantly did it. He also wanted to take the dog right then and there back to Mexico City and couldn't afford it. I told him to get crapped together in Mexico City and then come back for the dog if he wanted to. I was attached to Rocky, but I still loved Kelvin so very much and knew he loved Rocky as much as I. So I was willing to give him up since I too struggled with money and had to go back to my parents' house. Couldn't keep the dog either. Kelvin flies to Mexico City and then to Leah's country where she will be having the child. Never coming for Rocky, which I understand. I, devastated and feeling like a fool, moved back to my parents' house ashamed, and now with a 66-pound pit bull to look after. My parents are angels and let me keep him. With my part-time job, I could continue taking care of Rocky. They help me with vet visits, food, if needed, and sitting if necessary. I am eternally grateful for them and can now appreciate everything they have ever done for me and my siblings and now Rocky. 2 weeks after Kelvin leaves, I'm not feeling well. I find out I'm pregnant. I thought the world was laughing at me as if life was pulling me the coolest joke. I was pregnant too. 2 women pregnant in the world at the same time from the same guy. By this moment, I'm beyond angry with myself mostly and with man who cheated on me, who decided to hurt me deliberately and then go be with the person he cheated with and start a new family. I was around 2 months in when I found out, mostly because I was feeling like crap. I thought it was just the depression, the duel of the messy breakup, but heck, no. The morning all-day sickness was too much. Headaches, mood swings, the crying, it was awful, and not normal at all. Took a quick test, and the next day a blood test, positive. Well, crap. Almost immediately, I call him cursing him and his stupid penis. We used protection and I was on hormonal contraceptives. He feels awful because he loves me. And he said he would support any decision I wanted as if I had a choice. From the moment I saw the plus on the stick, I knew what I would be doing. I knew what I should be doing. I was having an abortion. Moving with my parents, no school finished, no career, no income, and no stable partner. I could just not do it and would not do that to that baby. I've always dreamed of something different, bringing a baby into the world, into a loving and caring family and having resources to give him or her the best life possible. It was not time yet. It was just not my time and not something I wanted. I can now talk about it, but it still brings tears to my eyes. Even though it was the right choice for me, for my future, and for the future baby I will be having someday under the right circumstances. I don't regret it, but no one has an abortion just because they want to. I made my peace with it and can now see that this was the right call for me. Kelvin supported my choice. Not before trying to convince me to have it. And by the support, I mean, he said, "Okay," to my decision, and sent me money just for the ultrasound. Like $50 maybe that I needed before the abortion process. Keep in mind, I'm from Mexico. Where abortion. It's still illegal in most states, so you have to be super careful with who and where you go to. In other words, expensive, but not impossible. Still, the hardest thing I've been through. I had my friends' support, but never told my parents, couldn't bring myself to since I knew they would have convinced me to keep it, and they would have supported me all the way. That it was just not right for me, not under those circumstances. I get through it by myself. Just a couple of my closest friends knew, pay for the abortion, and ultrasounds I needed. Him, in another continent, playing house with Leah. For them, the baby is a reality, and it is happening to them. Not for me. That was hard as crap. It took me almost a year to get over it, to even write about it, therapy and medication, friends' support, keeping me busy with Rocky and school. I'm finished, about to start my internship. Things start looking up. I'm still with my parents and have their full support, even with having a 60-pound dog. They helped me look after when I'm at the hospital. Having Rocky really helped me through my process. He is the sweetest, most loyal dog ever. Always by my side, sleeping in my bed, being the house favorite. So I push myself out of bed every morning and give him a walk, to keep me active in the evenings and cheerful on dog school on weekends, because being depressed in bed all day was not good for a puppy, or for me. I have Rocky to thank for getting me through all that crap last year. He still does. Every hike, every walk we take, every trip to Petco to get his food. Every single moment, he reminds me of how strong I've been and what I'm capable of overcoming, and who are the ones worth loving. A few weeks ago, Kelvin contacted me. We went no contact a few months after my abortion. I kept an Instagram account of Rocky to upload pictures because Kevin asked for some of the first weeks he was away, and I didn't want to contact him directly. So I told him to follow that page if he was interested in knowing about Rocky. Of course, I didn't follow him back or DM him, just posted pics of Rocky. He's got a few followers now, mostly friends of mine who love Rocky. So Kelvin contacted me after a few months of not knowing of each other. I keep posting pics now and then, but not as regularly as I used to the first months Kelvin left. I genuinely thought he would come back for Rocky maybe a week or two after I kicked him out. He didn't. I got too invested in Rocky. So I assumed the dog was mine now, since I took care of him as well as the first months he was a puppy, and now as 1 year old. Calvin contacted me a few weeks ago. He asked for the dog back. He said he wanted to keep the dog, or at least rotate him 6 months each. He wanted me to castrate Rocky, then put him in a cage, fly him in cargo since he has a pit bull. He cannot fly in the cabin for 16 hours, all alone, in an airplane going to another continent. He also wanted me to pay for it. He made it sound like it was the least I could do since he supported me for months. Let me remind you that was an arrangement we both made and we both thought was the best choice for us both. But he made it sound like I took advantage of him and I owe him. I'm 100,000% keeping the dog. He's my world. I've supported Rocky all this time, taking care of him and doing everything necessary for Rocky to have a balanced, healthy lifestyle. Dog school, vet visits, quality food, walks, hikes, everything. I needed somewhere to vent to and possibly get some insight on this. And by the whole for keeping the dog, even though my ex bought it, and even after he cheated and got someone else pregnant, also should I consider sharing custody of the dog? Would that be necessary? I'm a bit scared he could come and take the dog away from me or not give it back at all. Let me know what you think. And if you think I'm the a-hole or what you would do in my position. We've got a response from Jet Skiing, Jamie. You don't know Kelvin crap. Plus, I don't think Rocky would enjoy being carted around. If he wants a dog's about, there are usually plenty available for adoption. Hunting Row 3961 says nope, nope, and nope. You owe him nothing, nothing at all. Don't agree to give him back. Does he have proof of having purchased the dog as the dog registered to him? If he comes to claim the dog, make small folder, make him pay all the bills, dog school, vet costs, grooming costs, food, everything. You paid until now. Reddit to Venture 2019 adds, you and Kelvin are using the dog to stay connected. Why else are you allowing Kelvin to view your social media posts? Cut Kelvin off completely. Block your phone and social media. If you need to change your phone number, start a file with every receipt for food, vet, and licensing. This way, if he tries to go the legal route, you will have all the proof who is taking care of the dog. Do not acknowledge any contact Kelvin may attempt. Oh my goodness, OP. You're absolutely not the a-hole. After all of that, he keeps calling back thinking he can just walk in and get the dog back? Nope. That level of entitlement is appalling, and what he did to you and how he treated you was disgusting. You've taken care of and supported the dog until this point. Not to mention everything you've gone through physically and emotionally because of his inability to keep his penis in his pants. The dog is yours, not his. He doesn't get to decide when he can just waltz in and decide to be a doggy dad. Sounds like he's trying to prove something to himself, like he's actually a good person or something. He has his own kid to worry about. The dog is yours and yours alone. What do you think? Does the dog belong to Op or should she split custody? Do you have a similar story? Let us know in the comments below. And thank you for joining us today on our space. Like and subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on our next video. We'd hate for you to miss it.